Hello, my name is Lidia and I am the president of the European Federation of Hard of Hearing People. It's a pleasure to participate in today's lunch debate on the occasion of the World Hearing Day. My task today is to present hearing aids reimbursement in Europe, the report which the association published last year. Firstly, let me to provide some background of why we did the study. We did it because we believe such study supports lobbying efforts and transparency at national and European level on hearing care policies. It also promotes timely and effective interventions as a regular practice. We focus on questions which relate to reimbursement for adults, ease of access, self-referrals, and freedom of choice of the device. In addition, the reason we've done the study is because we have clear indicators we can look at and use. One of them is the categories of grades of hearing loss, which is given to you now on the left-hand side. And it comes from the World Health Organization, defining different levels of hearing loss and for the people experiencing it. In addition, there is also a policy background and policy way of looking at reimbursement. And that is provision of hearing aids as assistive devices. We discovered in the Article 25b health from the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, to which most of the countries, especially the whole European Union, is a signatory. And this specific Article B reads, provide those health services needed by persons with disabilities, specifically because of their disabilities, including early identification and intervention as appropriate, and services designed to minimize and prevent further disabilities, including among children and older adults. So there is a clear policy indicator and clear responsibilities on the member states. In addition, those rights are also reinforced by Article 35, healthcare, of the Charter of the Fundamental Rights of the European Union. So what was our methodology and timeline? In December 2021, we have sent out the questionnaires to our members as well as the European Association of Hearing Care Professionals. And we followed on the 2018 study questions. As previously mentioned, we focus on adults, national health, hearing aids reimbursement levels, specifically as part of hearing care provisions in policies. The responses we received were from 18 countries based in the European Union and 3 countries outside of the European Union. Those responses were analyzed and we grouped them during the 2022. It's important to actually acknowledge that the report wouldn't have happened and without a peer review of both our members as well as the members of the European Association of Hearing Aid Professionals. Thank you so much for all your support and encouragement. And then on the 6th of December 2022, we have launched the report. And you can find it now. Here is the link at the bottom, where it is on our website. So what are our findings? A little bit depressing when you think about that our findings are largely unchanged from 2018 report. And many policies, unfortunately, are inconsistent with the World Health Organization recommendation on eligibility thresholds. Positive is that we have new entrants: Spain, Malta, Romania, and Luxembourg. And another positive change is a notable change from France with higher reimbursement for Class 1 hearing aids, meaning that nearly everybody in France can now get hearing aids for free. And here I'm going to share a little bit more in detail of our findings. The coverage for the hearing aids, given by the state, is around 25 to 100%. Now, of the cost. Now, there are some countries which provide the hearing aids free as part of national health programs. In some countries, unfortunately, users need to pay full cost of hearing aids before they receive reimbursement later. And in majority of the countries, there is a minimum hearing aids upgrade every 5 years. Of course, there are exceptions, such as for children and significant changes to hearing loss. Unfortunately, in some countries, hard of hearing people have no choice in deciding which device suits them best. And that could be because of the reimbursement levels, but also because of the procurement rules. In some countries, the reimbursement policy does not match reality, as we have found, especially issues related around the bureaucratic systems or disjointed actions and policies in place. But the positive news is that the children are supported very well in general. With adults and senior citizens, unfortunately not. So we have to ask the questions. Do we have hearing care for all? With ambitious plans for education and employment, as well as the freedom of movement guaranteed to all European citizens, Europe can do much better in public health. So what are our main recommendations? The recommendations from the report are requiring member states to develop action plan and strategy on hearing loss and deafness, specifically based on hearing interventions as outlined in the World Health Organization World Report on Hearing, focusing on equality, prevention, and rehabilitation to enable people who are hard of hearing equal opportunities. In addition, the strategy should include universal reimbursement provision of hearing aids, as well as rehabilitation, which does not put undue burden on hard of hearing citizens. The strategy should be led by the experts who are working in the field of hearing care and who are in direct consultation with hard of hearing people organizations. The strategy should also define the threshold for reimbursement of hearing aids, corresponding with the World Health Organization mild to moderate hearing loss at 20 to 35 decibels as the minimum level of functional speech understanding in noise. Let's pause for a minute. The investment in the quality of hearing care as part of the universal healthcare provision is actually a sound investment, and I will elaborate more. In addition, person-centered approach hearing care should be seen as the integral part of action plans. And the reason for that is the excerpt from the World Hearing Report from World Health Organization. Two people with the same audiogram configuration can have very different everyday hearing-related difficulties and experiences. For that reason, hearing care systems should be based on the World Health Organization International Classification of Functioning, Disability and Health Guidance. Choice and aspirations matter. Allow also professionals time to get to know their clients. What is most important for the clients? Their employment, life goals, hobbies. It honestly matters to us. Follow-up is also needed to be offered, especially for those who are struggling with adapting to hearing aids, to show different communication strategies, assistive listening devices, and support them in adjusting to the new way of life. And for this reason, we call to action. We urge the European government to pay attention to the crisis of cost of living, specifically now, which disproportionately affects hard of hearing citizens who are unable to afford hearing aids and assistive devices. The devices which are essential to hard of hearing people to access and maintain education, and employment opportunities. We also urge European governments to follow the recommendations of our report and set up national action plans on hearing loss. No one should be priced out of opportunities just because they experience hearing difficulties. And in addition, there is an economic case. And that is based on the Dr. Laureyns Hartman report, which states, for every €1 spent on hearing care, the EU governments get €10 back in return. And that's based on reduced overall cost of untreated hearing loss, which currently stands at €178 billion per year. Can the European government really afford to do that? To leave untreated hearing loss as it is now? So please, let's make ear and hearing care for Europe a reality, not a wish. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.